Atticus Finch. Atticus is the father of Jem and Scout Finch. He's a lawyer from Maycomb and will do what's best for people if it's the right thing to do, even if it hurts himself or his family. He makes that kind of sacrifice for people because he always believes in what's right. For instance, he put down his gun because he had an unfair advantage over living things. He could always shoot an animal or anything in one shot, and it would always die. So he decided to give up shooting because he didn't like to trade an innocent life for a hobby of his. Scout Finch. An innocent, spunky 8-year-old tomboy who doesn't like being called a girl. She is the main character of the story, and it is written from her point of view. She respects Atticus and his opinions, and she won't hesitate to beat up someone at her school for calling him a nigger lover. She brings a big mob to their senses by saying a few innocent words, and she makes them step into Atticus's shoes and see the situation from his point of view. She plays a big role in To Kill a Mockingbird. Jem Finch. Jem is 12 years old, and he's Scout's brother. He tries his hardest to be mature because he wants to be like Atticus. Throughout the book, he does mature. He respects Atticus just as much as Scout, but he understands and appreciates Atticus's thoughts more. Even though he matured, he did have some minor setbacks, such as when he destroyed Miss Dubrose's camellia bushes. But these setbacks just helped him mature more. He learned from his mistakes, apologized to Mrs. Dubrose, and moved on. Jem is also extremely sensitive towards the Tom Robinson case, and he isn't quite old enough to understand that it was a decision based on race. He couldn't figure out why the Yules won, even though there was 100% evidence that that Tom Robinson was innocent. When he grows older, he'll eventually learn that. Next up, Bob Yule. There's not much to say about him, except that he's a mean, drunk man who values alcohol more than his children. He's a disrespected person of Maycomb and is considered white trash. When he tried to kill Scout and Jem, Boo Radley came to the rescue. And that's who we'll talk about next.
Arthur Radley, also known as Boo Radley, is a man who doesn't like society, so he stays in his house all the time. He has an unspoken relationship with Jem and Scout. He uses the knothole tree to give them all sorts of things. And at the end of the book, he saves Jem and Scout's lives, and Scout finally meets him and walks him home.
Even though it isn't a character, the Radley house and the knothole tree are important parts of the book. The knothole tree was the link of communication between Boo and Jem and Scout. It is where they find the Indian head pennies, soap carvings, sticks of gum, some yarn, and a broken pocket watch. It was at least their link of communication until it was closed up by Mr. Radley, Boo's father. The Radley house is also important because it is where Scout finally steps into Boo's shoes and sees things his way.
Aunt Alexandra. Aunt Alexandra comes to live with the Finches during the time of Tom Robinson's case. She comes because she wants to help Atticus and his children. She wants to help Scout become more ladylike and help Jem act more mature. Although Aunt Alexandra is racist, she defends what Atticus is doing and helps him stay well liked in the community.
Last but not least, Dale. He comes from another state and visits Maycomb during the summer. Jem and Scout and he are all friends, but Jem doesn't like it when Dale lies for attention, which he does a lot, especially in the beginning of their relationship. Also, he and Scout believe that someday they will get married, and maybe someday they will, who knows.